The wonderful sound of the Bureau, Let Him Have It, and part of our Now and Then were joined by the former lead singer and absolute legend, Mr. Archie Brown. Hey!
Hello, Gabby.
Archie, how are you?
I'm good. I'm in the frozen north.
We hooked up a couple of years ago, Archie, at the Flapper when Ian put on that event with Stone Foundation and the team that dreams in calves, and Ian's going, you got to interview Archie. You got to interview Archie. We had our little interview. Then Archie Brown took to the stage. This guy started playing a guitar, and I thought, yeah, good, like him. Picked up the sax. Archie, I had never seen anything like it in my life. You are an absolute superstar. I want to talk about your new album, Elysian Fields, because I want to know what happened in 1983. You seem to have a good year in 83.
Well, yeah, actually, I think, I was actually recording with David Cairns, at a secret fair. I was in California, so it was quite good. The sun shining, new beers. Yeah. But anyway, so I suppose that's a little condensed little thing.
Yeah.
Someone there.
But let's firstly go back to 1980. The Bureau formed, and in 81 you released a track that we just played called "Let Him Have It." I'd like you to talk me through that because it's about Derek Bentley. So
yeah, that's right. I mean, I lived in South London, in kind of like Brixton, Peckham, around there, and that's where it happened. Well, it happened, Croydon way, you know what I mean? But it was like a South London thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was told to me by someone, that story, and then I kind of got about a year later. I sort of, I sort of started getting into it quite a bit. But I did actually get so involved with it. I wrote a sort of screenplay, and they eventually made a film, which was Let Him Have It, called Let Him Have It.
Yeah.
But I actually had this script going around called Bentley, and obviously someone thought that's a good idea. We'll do that. We'll get someone else who's better to write it. So anyway, it just came out. I just kind of lost hold of it. But I did go into it a lot and found out an awful lot about it. And very, very, very sad story. As you know, he was 18, and then he was probably kind of mentally disabled. He kind of fell off a lot of big lorry. The big lorries where the paper.
Yeah.
And the big rolls of huge rolls of paper, those things? He fell off the top of those rolls of paper, so maybe 20 feet onto his head. And I think I'm putting him in last. And then, so he wasn't very, Christopher Craig, who was the 16-year-old who got away and didn't get hanged, well, he didn't get away, but he was put in prison for about 8 years. He didn't get hanged.
Yeah.
Very, very sad. But it looks like the more I went into it, that actually he was probably shot by a copper. Mm-hmm. But anyway, you have to put it into a long story, but I think actually he really wasn't troubled. It wasn't just they hanged some guy sitting there watching, it was just I think the actual guy, even Craig didn't shoot someone. Mm-hmm. It appears to be like that.
And it was literally, wasn't it? He said, let him have it, and they didn't know whether it was let him have it, shoot him, or let him have the gun. Right. Yeah?
Yeah, and that was where the court case kind of went on that, because if he'd said let him have it, shoot him, then he was guilty, and if he...
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think let him have it.
The line isn't the best, Archie. It's really, really cracking up, sadly. Only for Sheep was another track that you played. Was that about the industry? Yeah. What was that about?
Kind of like more to do with it's not just like Jesus and all that sort of stuff. People following things.
Yeah.
We're having trouble at the moment, aren't we? With people just following whatever's some kind of crazy religion or whatever. But let's not go into that. No. But so it's about that kind of thing. Just following leaders. Don't follow leaders. Watch your parking meters.
Yeah.
So it's really about.
And then when the Berlin Wall come down, am I right in saying that you were the first artist to play a concert? Was it in Leipzig when the wall come down? You played in front of about 90,000 Germans.
We went on first. Mind you, there was Janet Jackson was there. People like that who were really, really kind of very famous. But we were the first band on, and we were on first, and we went on last. And we were like the only live band,
Yeah.
The others were all karaoke bands, you know what I mean, like that. Backing thing.
Yeah.
It was the biggest stage I have ever seen. I think Rafferty was about 40 yards from me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was incredible. And they hosed, at one point they were hosing them all down, you know. Blimey. But I think they hadn't seen anything like it, you know. Yes, it wasn't when the wall came down, it was when they opened the border.
Okay.
A couple of months later.
Yeah, and Prisoners was another track that you played that day. I think that's a banging tune as well. Sorry, apologies for the line because it isn't the best. But let's fast forward it to now. I've got in front of me a wonderful album, Elysian Fields, and the title track was co-written with Big Jim Patterson from Dexys Midnight Runners, or Dexys in New Money.
Yeah, I mean, actually what happened was he was, you know, because obviously I did some work with him and Jeff Blythe, you know, and
yeah,
that's how I met him really, and we had actually 3 weeks to you know, because Jeff was wanting to make the album, and we sort of had like 3 weeks to do something. We wrote a couple of songs. In fact, we wrote 3 songs, yeah. And Two Broken Hearts, you should play that. Find it's on, you know, Jeff Blythe's album, G.I. Blythe album. We wrote that, and so he, and basically how we did that was he just sent me something that he had, and then I made it. Yeah. And that was a similar thing with Elysian Fields. So when we got back from America, he sent me this track, and always had that song Elysian Fields, but I wasn't quite happy with it. So then, you know, like I had the lyric and I had a melody. But then anyway, I just sang the song to that, the music. I think the piece of music he'd written actually was about, you know, Kevin Rose's brother. He was a good friend and he died. And I think he wrote this tune. So it was a kind of connection because my wife died. So there was this kind of... Yeah. Anyway, sounds like it was done together, doesn't it? But actually it was like years. But anyway, you know, put the things together.
I think the whole album, Archie, I think is absolutely fantastic because kindly you sent me the LP, which is brilliant. Takes me back to my 80s with spinning a long player record. My daughter didn't quite know what it was because she's only 7. It's like, what's this big thing, Daddy? Because she usually hears all my CDs in the car. And the track that we're going to play at the back of this interview is Bad Things Happen. Because I take her to dancing every Saturday, and the album was on in the car. And she said to me, Daddy, what's this song? I love this and I see always Bad Things Happen by Archie Brown. And she was bouncing around and she loved it. So we're going to play that. Take me through, I mean, because, you know, in everybody's life, lots of good things happen, but also lots of bad things happen. And the kind of way that you seem to put it across is, look, just move on, forget it, it happens. You know, look at brighter days, and it's a very positive, uplifting song to me.
Good, yeah. I mean, actually, a lot of the words there are written by Steve Chambers, but yeah, I mean, I did some of it, but yeah, he's the guy who likes to play. Actually, we did a few songs together, and that was the best song. And actually, Rafferty likes that. Patrick Rafferty,
yeah, another tune.
So he reckons that's the hit, and obviously maybe your daughter thinks so too. That's good.
She definitely, she's got good ears, my little one. And yeah, absolutely. When are you coming back to Birmingham, Archie? Because we're missing you in Birmingham.
Well, we're talking about it. I mean, I was talking about it with you know, Vic Ferrari. You know, you put on the next team, the big captain for that album. He's you know, yeah, we're going to try and sort something out. So yeah, I think we'll come. And as soon as I've got something sorted out, we'll let you know.
Superb. And when you come back, we're definitely hook up, mate. We're definitely hooking up. We'll definitely hook up when you come back to Birmingham. Finally, a charity that we support called Building Futures in the Gambia. We've made a couple of shows and we've put your African Sun song to it. Blinding track. Again, that was co-written, wasn't it?
That was written by Dave Cairns.
Yeah.
Dave Cairns, Secret First. Yeah, and yeah, quite a long. But yeah, I was born in Uganda, so it's kind of, yeah. I spent 10 years. I was there till I was about 10 or 11.
Oh right, okay.
Children that had a very nice 50s in Uganda was like short, very shut down.
Yeah.
So, but yes, African Sun is about getting back. It's more like the South African thing, obviously.
Yeah. Archie, we're going to have to wrap it up because it's not been the best of lines, sadly. But when you do come back to Birmingham, I'm going to bring my microphone. I'm going to put it, and we're going to have a chat. And we're going to have a beer together, brother. And can I thank you so much for your time? You are one of the nicest, one of the most talented persons that I've ever met in my life. And big love to you, Archie, and we'll see you soon.
Someone about
Cheers, Archie.
Okay, take care.
Cheers, brother. Thanks, Archie. Bye-bye. Okay.
Bye now.
Bye now. Cheers.
Thank you.